إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا ونبينا مولانا محمد عافية الأبدان وشفائها وطب القلوب ودوائها ونور الأبصار وضيائها وآله وصحبه وبارك وسلم دائما أبدا سرمدا نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين صدق الله مولانا العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الأمين المكين الكريم ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين बहुत आज़म बने बेसरों सामा मदद क़िबला दी मदद काबा ईमा मदद क़ौदरियम नाराए औत आदम ज़नम दम शेख अहमद रज़ा खान क़ुतब आलम ज़नम सैयदी या मुर्शदी शाह मुस्तफ़ा खां जिंदाबाद मसलक सरकार आला आला हज़रत जिंदाबाद या इलाही मसलक अहमद रज़ा खां जिंदाबाद हिफ्ज़ नामों से रिसालत का जो ज़िम्मेदार है सैयदी या मुर्शदी शाह मुस्तफ़ा खां जिंदाबाद हामिल फैज़ रज़ाए मुस्तफ़ा इमदाद कुन सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि नबी उम्मी व आलिहि सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम सलातो व सलामन अलैका या सय्यदी या सनदी या हबीबी या तबीबी या रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम व अला आलिका व अस्हाबिका या रहमतल लिल आलमीन। All praise is due to Almighty Allah. Durood and salams upon the most perfect, exalted and glorified of Allah's creation, Sayyiduna Maulana Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. His blessings and salutations upon the Anbiya Kiram, Ahl Bidathar, Sahaba Kiram, Khulafa Rashideen, Tabaeen, Tabi Tabaeen, Aimma Mujtahideen, Awliya Kamileen, and all those who follow the path until the last day. We thank Almighty Allah through His infinite mercy and through the wasila of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam for blessing us with the opportunity to congregate for Salatul Jumu'ah and to prostrate in His most exalted court. Before continuing, let us direct our hearts and our minds and our thoughts to the holy and the sanctified court of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and in doing so let us collectively recite the Pak. اللهم صل على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا مولانا محمد وأصحابه وبارك وسلم صلاة وسلام عليك يا سيدي يا سندي يا حبيبي يا طبيبي يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا رحمة للعالمين। वस्ल मौला चाहते हो तो वसीला ढूंढ लो, वस्ल मौला चाहते हो तो वसीला ढूंढ लो, बेवसीला नजदियो हरगिज़ खुदा मिलता नहीं। वस्ल मौला चाहते हो तो वसीला ढूंढ लो, बेवसीला नजदियो हरगिज़ खुदा मिलता नहीं। If you desire to attain closeness to the Almighty, if you desire to attain closeness to the Almighty, then seek out a mediator. वस्ल मौला चाहते हो तो वसीला ढूंढ लो। If you desire to attain, if you wish to attain closeness to the Almighty, then seek out a mediator. For najdis, without a mediator, closeness to Almighty Allah you will never find. Be wasila najdiyo hargiz khuda milta nahi. Hausul waqt Sayyidi wa sanadi Sarkare Mufti Azam Hind radiyallahu anhu's beautiful share this is that Haji Abdullah just read to you now in the kalam that he presented of Sarkare Mufti Azam Hind radiyallahu anhu. Wasle Maula chahte ho to wasila dhoond lo, be wasila najdiyo hargiz khuda milta nahi. Indeed, without the mediation and the means of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, nobody can attain any closeness or any nearness in the court of Allah. It is not possible. It is not possible. And the reality is the same which the father of Sarkar Mufti Azam Hind, Sayyidi Ala Hadrat Adimul Barakat Radillahu Anh said. What did he say? Ba Khuda Khuda ka yahi hai dar. By Allah, the gateway to the court of Allah is this alone. Where? The court of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, fidaka abi wa ummi. There are those for some time who have always adopted this policy. Well, a policy that has no legs to stand on. That we must go direct to Allah Almighty. There is no need for any wasila. First try and make a cup of tea without the stove. Make a cup of tea without a fire, without a stove, and show me. You're talking about reaching the Rabb without comparison. You are talking about reaching Almighty Allah. That is why even after the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam left this physical dunya in the apparent sense, when there would be no rain in the holy lands, the Sahaba Ikram would take Hazrat Abbas as a wasila to make dua. In every, and even before Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam came into the alam dunya, the Yahud and the Nasara used to make dua through the wasila of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Even them, they used to say, "Oh Allah, give us victory over our enemies through the wasila of the Nabi Akhir Zaman." To the Nabi, how did they know this? Subhanallah. How did they know that you must use wasila? Because every Nabi that came in his zamana spoke about the wasila of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He spoke about the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they knew that that Nabi who is Nabiul Anbiya is the wasila in the court of Almighty Allah. And the 10th of Muharram just went. Our father and the father of the entire mankind, Hazrat Adam ala Nabiyina alayhi salatu wassalam, after he left by the command of Allah Jannat and came to the earth, and he asked Allah to pardon the eating of the fruit in Jannah. And remember, it was not a sin for Anbiya to not sin. They are masoom, they don't make sin. That one action of Adam alayhi salam was the cause of mankind inhabiting the earth. It was the blessing of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam coming onto this earth. Understand it. Okay? But he still asked pardon in the court of Almighty Allah because he ate what was commanded, don't eat. But you will not call it sin, you will not call it disobedience. Hazrat Adam ala Nabiyina alayhi salatu still made dua in the court of Allah, "Oh Allah, pardon me." And he continued, and on the 10th of Muharram his dua was accepted. When he picked up his hand and he said, "Oh Allah, forgive me through the wasila of that name which is connected to your name on your arch." Whose name was that? Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And immediately Allah Almighty said, "Adam, I have pardoned you." So when our father and the father of the entire mankind, dua is accepted through the wasila of the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then the ummah and the nation, the people, the awlad of Hazrat Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, Abul Bashar, are those loyal awlad who use the system of their father. You know what they say, "Jo baap ka nahi, wo kisi ka nahi." Isn't it? He who is not his father's is nobody's. And he who is not the father, he who is not of the father of entire mankind, kiska hoga bhai? Who will he be? So it is our system to use the wasila, to use a means in the court of Almighty Allah. And the pious servants of Allah, even though they have reached that maqam of excellence, in the court of Rasul Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam also they don't ask directly. Because of Adam and Lihaz. What does Allah say? What does Allah Ta'ala say? There is Sarkar mein lata hai raza usko shafi.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah.
Raza brings him as a mediator, as an intercessor in your court, Ya Rasulullah. Jo mera khawf hai aur ladula beta tera. This is the adab. This is the respect of the court of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Today, the Sunnis, the Ahl Sunnat, and today you have to see also who is Sunni. Because these fellows who say don't read Salat al-Salam to saying we are Sunni. Those who saying don't put flowers on your parents' grave, they too saying we are Sunni. Those who saying don't make Ghaus Pak Niyaz, they too Sunni. No. These, see, you must remember, it's not always about the label, it's about what's inside. Yahan fake label hai. This is only the fake label. When you see that a person is Sunni, he must be Sahihul Aqidah. Now some people don't even know, supposed to be scholars also, some don't know what's the meaning of Sahihul Aqidah. They want to question, what is this? We never hear this. Sunni Sahihul Aqidah is that Sunni who in reality has the true and the correct Aqidah and belief. Is that when I believe in Muhammadur Rasulullah, when I say La ilaha illallah, I say there is none worthy of worship except Allah, but my Allah is He who sent His Nabi be Misr and be Misal. That is my Allah. My Allah is free from all defects. Not like those Badmazhabs who say that they Allah can speak lies. Our Allah don't speak lies. There is none more truthful than Allah. So that is being proper Aqidah. When we say Muhammadur Rasulullah, Muhammad is Allah's Rasul, then we believe he is Allah's Rasul. Even in Medina today is hearing us when we say As-salatu was-salamu alayhi ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Then your Aqidah is right, then you are a Sunni. And in this zamana, the identification and the differentiation and distinction for Ahl Sunnat wal Jamaat is Imam Ahmad Raza radiyallahu ta'ala. Distinction and the identification is Imam Ahmad Raza radiyallahu. These people call us mad. They say, you Sunni people, you all are mad. You all are mad. Every time you see you running for this niyaz, you're running for the Ghaus Pak, you're running for Khaja Karim Nawaz, you're going to put chadar on that mazari. You people are mad. Let's take them back to the zamana of Hazrat Abu Bakr Shibli radiyallahu. Hazrat Shibli radiyallahu an went out one day of his house, and the people on the street saw him. They were not deviants, but because of his condition, because he used to be in Diwangi. He used to be in a state of spiritual absorption, spiritual intoxication. So when he would walk like a madman. He didn't care what was happening on the right and what was happening on the left, isn't it? So they said to him, you are mad. You are an insane person. You are crazy, you are fanatic. Who they said to Hazrat Shibli radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He replied to them. He says, according to you people, I am mad. According to me, you people are very wise. Firstly, you recognize me. You don't even know. He looked at them and he said, you people saying I am mad, I recognize you as intelligent. In other words, you saying I am divana, I am saying you are farzana. In other words, you people saying I am insane or I am mad because of my way, my andaz. I am saying you people are the clever ones, you are the wise, you are the aware. You are the people that are aware. He said, let me tell you, my madness, which you call madness, my divangi, is because of my love. My divangi is because of my love, and your awareness is because of your ghaflat. Your akal and cleverness is because of your ghaflat. He said, I make dua, may Allah increase my divangi. May Allah increase my divangi. And may He increase you in the state which you are in. In other words, you are only aware of dunya. You are not aware of the Rabb that you need to love. You're forgetting about your beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And these words of Hazrat Shibli radiallahu anhu are so beautifully explained. If you really think about it, Although it's talking about the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and indeed, there is no love for Allah without the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But Hudur Mufti Azam Hind radiyallahu anh says, must maye ulfat hai. Must maye ulfat hai, madhosh muhabbat hai. Must maye ulfat hai, madhosh muhabbat hai. Farzana hai divana. Farzana hai divana. Divana hai farzana. He says blissful is the portion of love. Mast maye ulfat hai. The drink of love is that puts you in another world. He says blissful is the portion of love. Love makes you spiritually saturated. Blissful is the portion of love. Love makes you spiritually saturated. He said far-sighted is the absorbed lover. Far-sighted is the absorbed lover. The true intellect and the way one is the one who has love. Far-sighted is the absorbed lover. The absorbed lover is far-sighted. Farzana hai divana, divana hai farzana. The pious servants of Allah have always taught us that the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the means. The beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is our wasila. And after the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam's muhabbat, all those who love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam are your wasila. To the extent that your mother and your father are your wasila. To the extent that your mother and father are your wasila. And to the extent on the day of Qiyamah, if any of you lost a child, even if your child was stillborn, the stillborn child will protest in the court of Allah on the day of Qiyamah that I am not going to enter Jannah without my parents. I am not going to Jannah without my parents. So when the stillborn child will be your wasila in the akhirat to enter Jannah, why will not Nabiul Anbiya sallallahu alaihi wasallam be your wasila in the akhirat? The Bad Mazhab says that nobody has any authority to speak in the court of Allah. To the extent they write that in the court of Allah, people are more zaleel than cobblers. No matter how great you are. And when they said great, they refer to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not even like a chamar in the court of Almighty Allah. Ma'adallahi Rabbil Alamin. What about that stillborn child? That child has a right and will be given a right to protest. It has come in the Hadith Mubarak, it is said that the child will protest. And the Almighty will say to him, oh stillborn child, are you protesting with your Rabb? The child will be given the haqq to speak in the court of Allah. And you think under liwa'ul hamd, while standing on Maqam al-Mahmud, the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not going to make shafa'at for all of us. He is not going to be our wasila. So when the stillborn child is a means, when your parents are a means, then because of whom everything is in this kainat, why will he not be your wasila? Why will he not be your means? Today, after Maghrib, marks the Urs Sarapa Quds of Ghawsul Waqt, Huzur Sayyidi wa Sanadi Sarkare Muftiye A'adame Hind radiyallahu ta'ala, the great Imam of this zamana. And according to the great scholars, the Mujaddid of the 15th century Hijri. Sarkare Mufti Azam Hind radiyallahu anhu's life was Shariat. His standing was Shariat, his sitting was Shariat.
Subhanallah.
Today, why have we forgotten those giants? Why have we forgotten what we learnt? Why have we forgotten what they taught? Why are we wanting to divert from their way and make our own path? Remember those pious. Remember their lives. Remember their taqwa. Sarkari Mufti Azam Hind radiyallahu anhu. Indeed, he was the rightful and the righteous representative of Sarkari Ala Hadrat Azim al-Barakah radiyallahu ta'ala. That personality who was so drowned in the love of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so absorbed in the love of Sayyidina Maulana Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he said, या रसूल अल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम, तू शम्अ रिसालत है, आलम तेरा परवाना, तू माहे नबुवत है, ए जलवाए जानाना. We hear this kalam how often? Who is it? Sarkar Mufti Azam Hind radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. This is that Mubarak personality whose Ur Sarapa Quds will be inshallah the actual Islamic date, eve of the 14th of Muharram. Hafiz Sahib read the share now of Qari Amanat Rasul, in which he said, Muharram ka mahina 14वीं की रात थी जिस दम बरेली से चले तुम सूहे जन्नत मुफ्ती आदम. In the month of Muharram, on the eve of the 14th. And the poet after that he says, why did he go in Muharram? Why did Allah take him in Muharram? He says, Muharram mein safar is waste farma liya tune. Muharram mein safar is waste farma liya tune ke rahe qurbe janabe ala Hazrat Mufti Azam. He used the word safar, which is month here. But if you look at it in the other way, in the month of Muharram, after that comes safar. So that you can be close to Ala Hadrat Azim al-Barakat. So inshallah al-Azim, tonight will be the Urs of Sarkar Mufti Azam. He make dua in your homes. Tonight make Fatiha. And all the awliya Allah, when the Urs time comes and you know that tonight is the Urs of Sarkar Khaja Wali Nawaz, is the Urs of Sarkar Ghawsi-Pak, is the Urs of Hazrat Sabir Ali Ahmad Alauddin Kalyari radiyallahu, is the Urs of Hazrat Sayyidina Mahdum Samna radiyallahu, is the Urs of Sarkar Tajush. Make Fatiha in your house. If you're going to do it, your children will do it. They will, and that is also wasila. That is a means in the court of Almighty Allah for barakat in your house. It's a means for the protection of your iman of your child. If you do it, your children will do it, they will continue. How did we learn to make niyaz and Fatiha in our homes? We saw our parents doing it. We saw our grandparents doing it. So we learned, this is the way that you should do. However, it doesn't mean if they did something wrong, then you must follow the wrong. But we know that this was the right way, and we still know that this is the right way. So do that. Inshallah al-Azim, tonight after Maghrib Salah, at Imam Mustafa Raza Risa Center, like we have every month, we have because Imam Mustafa Raza Risa Center is named after Sarkar Mufti Azam. His name was Imam Mustafa Raza. His name was Mustafa Raza. Actually, his name was Muhammad Mustafa Raza, Abul Barakat Ali Rahma Muhyiddin. So Sarkar Mufti Azam Hind radiyallahu anhu, Urs we are having tonight, like we have every month, the Urs of Hazrat Mufti Azam and Mujab Awliya Allah. But this month, because it's the actual night, so we're not going to miss the barakat of that night. So after Maghrib, Imam Mustafa Raza Risa Center, if you are free, there will be a program there, inshallah, our ulama, or senior ulama, hopefully Hazrat Allama Maulana Abdul Hayy, Nasim al-Qadri, etc. will be present, and there will be a mahfil like we have every month, and also Hazrat Mufti. Please do join, and there will be niyaz served thereafter, inshallah. Starting after Maghrib Salah, inshallah. So take the blessings of the pious, use the wasila of the pious, strengthen your iman, strengthen and increase your love for the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is barakat here, and it is barakat in the hereafter. Before I end today's talk, special dua, again very important for the Muslims, the Ahl Sunnah of Palestine. Again, the enemy forces, the Yahud and their agents have started to attack Palestine's so-called ceasefire. But we have to feel for them, always. We have to remember them. When you pick up your hand and make dua for yourself, make dua for them also. Look at what they were going through in the month of Muharram. Their children are being killed. How many children are being killed? But they don't care because it's called collateral damage. It's fine. As long as they hit the enemy target, according to them, it's collateral damage. What they're not realizing is the badwa of every child will fall one day. The badwa of every child will fall one day, and the haqdar of the zameen will get their zameen. Because this zameen doesn't belong to anybody, it belongs to Almighty Allah. This is Allah's test for them. May Allah give them strength and make them successful in the test against those that are trying to destroy them. And the only reason is because they read the kalima La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because if it was not that, what's the difference between there and Ukraine? What is the difference? Actually, there is a vast difference. But the whole world is going in that direction. Or here they are left alone. So what is it? It is clear. It is the kalima la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah keep us with iman. Let us leave the world with iman. Those who are ill, Allah grant them shifa kamila, Sayyid Ajila. I'm happy to see Sayyid Sahib is in the masjid today. Our Sayyid Yunus spoke. He's been very, 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 very ill. And mashallah, Allah has blessed him with shifa. He said to me that before Jummah, I'm just very, very weak. I told him now, he says he's very weak. I don't know what weakness, Sayyid Sahib, you're talking about. I just heard you giving azan before Jummah. Look, if you call this weakness, then I don't know what strength is. To in this bimari to still stand and give azan, this is not weakness, this is strength. And Allah give you more strength. Inshallah, Allah keep him well. He's the one, because of through whose hand all of you eat halim in Ramzan month. Whenever we have the urs and the niyaz, it's through his hand the food is getting cooked. So Allah Ta'ala give him barakat in his life and accept whatever he has done for the sake of the love of Allah and his Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and the awliya Allah. Allah Ta'ala keep you well, Sayyid Sahib. Allah keep you well. Wa ma'alil balad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أفضل ذكر لا إله إلا الله 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 محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إلا الله 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 إلا لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الله 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 لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يا حي يا قيوم 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 لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يا شيخ سيدة الفاضل الهلالي شهد الله شهد الله شهد الله